I'm really excited just to be near this car. This is a Tatra 603, one of my absolute favorite cars of all time. It's a Czechoslovakian car, it's very, very strange, and I want to tell you 5 amazing things about the Tatra 603. So the first amazing thing about the Tatra 603 was that it was designed in secret. You see, under communist rule, the government decided who gets to build what. And in Czechoslovakia, that meant Škoda gets to build cars, Tatra gets to build trucks. Now, Tatra had a history of building some amazing cars, like the Tatra T87, so the engineers wanted to do a follow-up to that. So, in secret, without permission from the government, they started designing what would become this car, the 603. Now, all of the communist bigwigs had been getting their luxury cars from the Soviet Union, these Zils, and they realized they were really kind of crappy, and what they would really love is something like what Tatra used to build. So they grudgingly said, okay, Tatra, build us some nice cars. Well, the good news was the Tatra engineers had already started that process, so they were able to develop a car like the 603 a lot quicker than anybody expected. The second amazing thing about the Tatra 603 is that I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is the biggest 4-door rear-engine sedan ever built by anybody. And if we say it's the biggest rear-engine 4-door air-cooled sedan, then I'm almost 100% positive, because this is an air-cooled V8, already a very rare kind of engine, and it's in the back, which is already strange, and it's in a 4-door car, which is already pretty weird, and then a 4-door car this big with a rear-engine air-cooled V8, this has to be the only one of its kind. Maybe one of you geeks out there will prove me wrong, but I'm gonna stick by it for right now. The biggest rear-engine air-cooled car, definitely biggest rear-engine air-cooled V8 ever built. The third interesting thing about a Tatra 603 is that it was possibly the only car you could order that could come standard with a bomb right under your ass. This is a canister full of gasoline with an igniter, all the ingredients you think you need to make a really good bomb. The Tatra is actually using it as a heater, but still, it is a canister full of gasoline with fire applied to it right under your ass. So, a lot of people were kind of uneasy with this solution to the heating problem. This is the fourth cool thing about a Tatra 603. This compartment right here. This is a very clever idea that I don't know why more cars don't do. A few cars did something similar, like the Renault Dauphine. Here's what it is. Let's say you're driving around. On a Tatra, the trunk is in the front. You get a flat tire. You don't want to take out all your precious valuables, your china and your jewelry, all your Fabergé eggs, and leave them on the side of the road. So what do? You pull a little lever in here, a door drops down, and you have separate access to your spare tire. It's such a better way to do this. I don't know why modern cars don't do the same thing. The fifth amazing thing about the Tatra 603 was that the factory would take back older cars and remanufacture them to be like newer model 603s. I was told by Paul, the man who owns this car, that this happened every 7 years. The factory would recommend you take your old Tatra back to the factory and they would update it with all the new stuff. Sometimes they didn't do all the new chassis stuff, sometimes they just did the stuff you could see. But that's part of why it's tricky to find a really original old Tatra 603, is because so many got taken back to the factory and made to look like newer model 603s. Here's a bonus fact about the Tatra 603. The only one of these ever made with air conditioning was given as a gift to Fidel Castro. So the perks of that job weren't just cigars.